Hello, trading is closed on May 8th, 2018. My last call said that gapping up and failing to hold on to these highs was a negative pattern. I thought lower prices should print, which they did. Looked for a pattern with an early low and a late high, which is what we got. Tomorrow's pattern should be the one with the early low. We had an ultimate target of 26.58.12 that printed, and there was support under it. I'm still waiting for this one, and I'm kind of hoping this one does not print because I think this is a potential top. Let's look at today's MEJT signals. Early on it said ultimately lower prices would print. Usually get more than the minimum, which is what we did. We had some pretty good rallies here. MEJT said they were false and prices would retrace. Nothing carries forward till tomorrow. Well, this is a pattern which usually rallies throughout the day, closes near the high. When you can't close near the high, when you can't even close over this high here, it usually leads to trouble. It usually leads to further weakness. And another harbinger of bad things to come for the market is that this low didn't hold. In fact, instead of having a series of higher lows, we had a series of lower ones. It can all be invalidated if we gap up and promptly take out this high as a minimum. But frankly, since we haven't invalidated this reversal, to be really convincing, you'd have to gap up and promptly take out this high too. Nothing's impossible, but I think that's kind of a tall order. Here's the DeMark stuff. Now this TDST lines from the way up, that doesn't really count. What counts are the ones from the way down, which is this one here and this one here. If you're going to have a buy signal like this, and 913.9 buy signals tend to be strong signals, you really have to take this out pretty quickly. And when you don't, it's a missed opportunity and usually leads to lower prices. Now let's look at where these rallies have stopped. You draw in blue a Fibonacci grid from this TDST line to this low. You'll see that this rally attempt stopped right at the 78.6% retracement. And now we've stopped right at the 61.8. So we're stopping at significant resistance lines. This rally not only couldn't take out this high, it couldn't take out any of these highs all the way along, which shows it didn't really accomplish anything. Now, we've already showed that this is a potential top based on the pattern here. This is just a Fibonacci retracement of wave blue B. So we have a lot of resistance at this high, which we're going to have to overcome. Now, regardless of what the count is, that's a tall order, but there still should be some way you can count this to make it make sense that we're going to stop here. Now, as I've said, at this point in the pattern, when you're consolidating, you can make the waves say whatever you want them to say. The one thing I noticed with today's pattern is that this wave blue A and this wave blue C are exactly equal. So let's assume that's not an accident. Since this and this are in different directions, it can't be the whole ABC pattern unless it's part of a B wave of a larger pattern. So what if that's A? You could have an A, B, C, D, E for a leading diagonal triangle, and that could be A, and this could be ABC with C equal to A for B, and you could be hitting wave 2. Don't pay attention to the colors here. I mean, I don't know what degree this thing is. But It's not the only count. I can count this a number of other ways, but if that's the count, it implies things are almost over. So we have a negative pattern here, unless we reverse it early by taking out this high and ideally taking out this one. Unless we do that, lower prices should print. And the longer we go, making negative patterns like this and this, it's negative here because you couldn't hold on to the highs, and it's negative here because this pattern usually closes at the high, and this usually holds. If you keep making negative patterns and you don't take this high out, it increases the chances that high is going to hold. And if that high holds, we should be in the early stages of wave red 3 down. Unless we invalidate the action of the last 2 days promptly, and that would be a stop if you were short, somewhere around here, a reasonable stop. I think if you held it, you'd eventually win. But if we can't do that, we could have a very steep drop beginning as early as tomorrow. And that's today's call.